Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're going to be going over the Burston and its Incarnon form. If you like this video, consider leaving a like, and if you like this content, consider subscribing. I want to read your guys' comments on what you guys think of this week's weapons, so be sure to leave a comment too. Alright, the Burston. Really excited about this weapon. I was looking forward to this week with the Soma, and some of the other weapons looked interesting. However, I was not exactly feeling the melee weapons, considering they haven't been very good lately, so I went ahead and went with both primaries. However, if you watched my Soma video, you will see that I was not thrilled by how that weapon turned out. Thankfully, though, the Burston is much better than the Soma, and we're going to get into why in this video. Alright, let's talk about the evolutions. So, the Burston evolutions are actually way better than the Somas. It does actually have the same sort of armor, gives you punch through, so I went with that. The other one has to do with more multi-shot on the last burst. That one's mainly just for non-Incarnon builds, which I can definitely see being used, and I'll get into that a little bit later. The next evolution is always going to be preference. So I went ahead and went with the magazine capacity because, instead of 45, you get 66, and no matter if you use the non-Incarnon and the Incarnon mode, the recoil is like basically 0, and the other option is reload speed, which, I mean, come on. We're gonna get into why you don't care about reload speed. And then the last one is gonna be kind of a preference thing too. So, like I mentioned before, there is a potential to run a non-Incarnon mode build, because this one actually does have an interesting perk that increases your damage by 20% per full burst on the enemy, and it's obviously, you've got 66 rounds, so you got 3 bullets per burst, and, do the math, you're getting a lot of increased damage. Now, it doesn't work on the Incarnon because it requires the burst mode for it to actually work. But if you don't want to use the Incarnon mode, you could actually run that and it wouldn't be too bad. So, I went with the crit chance one just because, you go from a base of 18 to 40. That's huge. So you, with critical delay, you get 120, and then in the Incarnon mode, you get a staggering 150% crit chance, which works really well with Hunter munitions. And let's get into the actual weapon build. So this is just your standard viral Hunter munitions. I do have hammer shot in here. You could run prime shred, you can run galvanized scope, you could put a riven, you could put whatever you want. This is the non-riven build here. I do have 2 rivens here. I'll get into those later. But as it stands right now, you've got 120% crit, 5 times critical multiplier, and around 115% status. Now, if you go into the Incarnon mode, 150, 8.4, and again, 114. Very, very solid. The Incarnon mode actually also comes with base heat, so it's not something you have to run. So not only do you have a bunch of great stats, but you're also getting a free element into your build. Now let's see how the Incarnon mode works. Now I've got it primed already. When you activate Incarnon mode, you get a immense 600 round magazine with AoE. Now you can run a ton of fire rate and turn this into the best bullet hose in the game. Now I've got no primary merciless actually stacked, so obviously it looks a little weak here, but you get that primary merciless there times 12, and it's over. It is all over. You got all this punch through. I actually do have some armor here. I'm not even gonna give myself invincibility. Let's just spawn them, see how it goes. Now this is actually kind of a unique Wukong build. If you haven't seen my video on it, go take a look. It's one of the few Wukong builds you see that doesn't have Gloom subsumed on it. This is just kind of a fun build. but here I'm going to take some damage. Now I definitely have all that punch through. And here you go. I got Arcane Avenger on here, so I'm hitting in the oranges, no problem. And just a couple bullets, 4 slash ticks, 11 here. Yeah, this thing is awesome. This is probably the new best new player gun. These new players are going to see, whoa, 600 rounds, holy moly. They're going to want to play with that, so it's actually a lot of fun. You just have non-stop ammo. We're going to respawn them here. And you've got so much ammo to work with. Oh, you ran out? Well, just burst them like 4 or 5 times and get your 600 bullets back. 600 bullets. Yes, that is immense. This is what the Soma should have been. I mean, it's really disappointing. I mean, you think the Soma would have got a lot of love, but I don't know. Hopefully, it's like a bug that the weapon sucks major doo-doo, because it is so embarrassing that it's just like the least popular weapon out of this Incarnon bunch. It's really upsetting. So anyway, back to the Burston. Again, this is the build. Tons of multi-shot, increase your damage. You got multiple versions of status here. The heat, the viral, all that, the slash. You can increase your damage, primary merciless. Now, if you have a Riven, I have 2. Now, this is one with a crit chance build here. It's nothing crazy. I've actually rolled both of them quite a few times, trying to get like the G roll or whatever. But this is what I've got so far by the time this video came out. So over 200% crit, ton of status, and you scroll down here, 254% crit. So I'll show you what that looks like. Just activate it. Casual 150 rounds, and yeah, it's awesome seeing all these red crit numbers here. Now I have one more Riven, and it looks like this. I decided to put a ton of fire rate since I gave myself 7.2 punch through, 100% increase to multi-shot, and a ton more damage. And that's what this looks like. We're gonna activate it. Now you've got a serious bullet hose that is just gonna eat through your ammo, but you don't care because you've got 600 rounds to play with. I mean, you could potentially even just like throw in a fire rate mod or get your Riven to roll fire rate and just go crazy. But yeah, this weapon is very fun. Again, this is the non-Riven build. You are still going to reach solid damage without a Riven. However, I do recommend you get one, considering it is a 5 Riven dep. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing. I will be uploading more Warframe content, including the Incarnon evolutions moving forward, and just overall builds and guides. If you are subscribed, keep an eye out on my upcoming videos, including future melee and secondary weapons I want to see get Incarnon adapters. Those videos should be going up this week, probably like either Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Take care.